From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Let's go. Let's do it. First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Now Chubb on first down, able to work his way forward for about 5. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was pop free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On first down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he is going to have a Browns 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Now Chubb running right.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Here's Mayfield. to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. Mayfield. Oh, he rifles well. That's going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Now Joe Mixon. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers. 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. So this rivalry, Charles, here in the Buckeye State, Cincinnati and Cleveland, you know, you felt like for a while it took a dip as these two franchises struggled. But now I think this rivalry is budding again as one of the best under-the-radar rivalries in the NFL.
I agree with you absolutely because both of these teams have the arrow pointing up. They've kind of solved their quarterback issues. They're building up their rosters. But one of the most defining moments of this rivalry to me wasn't even in a Browns-Bengals game. It was a Seahawks-Bengals game when head coach Sam White addressed the crowd and emphasized that Cincinnati was the place to be.
But, Charles, I think his exact words were, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
What a banner year in 2020 for Myles Garrett. Gets his Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for the first time in a long time and had 12 sacks to lead his team. He's averaged more than 10 sacks a year in his 4-year career and was named All-Pro for the first time after the 2020 campaign.
That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages.
Touchdown, Bengals! Jamar Chase, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started.
A 6-2 is their record through the first 8 weeks. Now, Charles, what is your assessment for them in the second half of the season?
Well, I think that the road gets a little bit tougher for them. And when I look at their schedule, I see some of these road games, and I know those are going to be difficult. But this is a good team, so I'm going to go with 11-5. That seems about right, and I think that'd be a nice accomplishment.
Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took him to the limits.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. A give. This is Chubb. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down and 4, Mayfield. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
But Baker Mayfield only 6'1", but he can certainly sling it, and we saw evidence of that right
there. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. To return it, Darius Phillips. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going.
5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know, Charles, you look at this defense, definitely going to be put to the test here against a team that's won 3 straight. What do they need to do to come out on top?
Well, I think that at a minimum, they've got to eliminate mistakes, and I know that sounds a little trite, but when you break it down, that means eliminating penalties, not allowing big plays. That has to be where you start. Remember, their head coach in the lead-up to this game, he said their opponents have been, quote, unbeatable the last few weeks. So the only way you can beat an unbeatable team is to make sure that you play a clean game yourself.
On second down, Mixon. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Running left, it's Mixon. Hard running at the 15. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's a give to Mixon. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. First down, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mayfield now. And this one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield now from the 50. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Larry Ogunjobi, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Now Mayfield midfield. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's stopped at the 44. It's also a gain of 4. And now it's 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. On the return, Phillips. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they run with Mixon. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd and 8 coming up.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Open man is Uzana. Well, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd and 1, Burrow eluding the pressure right. He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Now Burrow. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. A handoff to Mixon. Oh, some strong running, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Now their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here?
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Trey Hendrickson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And what a big 2020 season for the Saints for this third-round pick in 2017 out of Florida Atlantic. Now, he signed with the Bengals back in March, but for New Orleans last year, 13.5 sacks, which tied Aaron Donald for the NFC lead.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
46 yards on the ground for him so far.
So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Handoff comes to Chubb. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. They go play action. Mayfield going deep here for Landry.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw, Mayfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for Bengals TV. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet.
Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand. You want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15... mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Tackle made that time by Mike Hilton, former Steeler. Now it's 2nd and 9.
Mayfield to throw it. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Browns on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Throwing, Mayfield.
Open man, here's Schwartz, complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Burrow will throw. This goes out wide from Nixon. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now it's Burrow. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Jamar Chase, the intended receiver.
That'll bring up second down. Again, it's Burrow. He completes it to Tate. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 16. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase
with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Bengals are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that will bump the lead up to 26.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
Now Mayfield lost the football, but I think a Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Eli Apple, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
He's going to look deep now for Landry. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick six on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
That's caught inside the 20. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
Well, sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Mixon. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
177 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cincinnati, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.